We continue the 2021 season previews today with the Toronto Maple Leafs. After this, we only have 4 teams left. I almost said 3, but you know what I mean. This team is looking interesting. They've acquired a lot of depth in the offseason after being surprisingly eliminated against the Columbus Blue Jackets and not winning a playoff round for the 4th straight year. Actually, no, for like the 25th straight year. I don't know. That's an exaggeration, Maple Leafs fans. But you know what I mean. So this team hasn't seen the second round, let alone the Stanley Cup, in a while. And I believe that if everything goes right, if the depth can play well, this team can make it there. So let's get into what happened last season for these Toronto Maple Leafs and what can happen this season for the team from my perspective, of course. First off, if you are new to the channel, hey, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And also, if you haven't already, please go subscribe down below. It means a lot to me as well. We're trying to get to 700 subscribers by June of 2021. We are currently 27 away at time recording the video, so we're almost 3/4 of the way there, which is absolutely amazing to say. I'm so thankful for all the support I've been getting. And also, if you could drop a like down below in this video, that would mean a lot to me as well. I've really went into a lot of depth with this because the last Maple Leafs video that I made, I'm not trying to say it got entire hate, but it got a lot of hate. So I wanted to make sure I went in depth, I went stacked with this, and I made sure I watched a lot of videos, a lot of notes on this, and I even rewatched the Maple Leafs games to get my knowledge right. So I've had this preview made and prepared for a long time because I want to have Maple Leafs fans to have the most success. Yeah. Anyways, if you could also check out my links in the description below, which includes my Twitter, my Instagram, my Discord, and my TikTok. You could go check those out. That would mean a lot to me as well. And anyways, let's get into what happened last season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So last season for the Toronto Maple Leafs was, above all, up and down, crazy-filled season. They finished fairly well for where they were at. So 70 games played, 36 wins, 25 losses, and 9 overtimes for 81 points. They were 8th in the NHL, which is amazing because they got their coach fired. Mike Babcock left. Sheldon Keefe came in, which looked like a great establishment because they won their first game against the Coyotes. Don't ask, I remember that. And they played pretty well in those next couple of games for Sheldon Keefe. They lost to David Ayres, the Zamboni driver thing. That's just kind of a worthless game. I mean, it sucks that they lost that, but you know what I mean. And yeah, they were 8th in the NHL. They were actually only third in their division because Tampa and Boston finished above them. And they went to go play Columbus in the play-in round, which it turned into. They lost to Columbus in the play-in rounds in 5 games. And really, honestly, the Maple Leafs fans were so angry that whole season. Or no, that whole play-in round. Because minimal effort. The Flyers definitely showed that. In Game 5 and Game 3 and Game 1, I guess you could say, all the games that they lost, minimal effort was shown, to be completely honest with you. I mean, you look at the statistics, I see that, Toronto actually had the puck a lot. They played good offense on Joonas Korpisalo, but then, everything else happened with that, and bad defense. I think that's really what just narrowed down to it, bad defense. And, the goaltending was great. Frederik Andersen got a lot of credit. I mean, didn't get much credit for what he's done. I mean, Zach Hyman, he was in front of the net. He was taking a beating in front of the net, too, because he was the only guy who went in front of the net. And then, you had Anderson saving the high-scoring chances. He saved the medium chances, too, to a degree. And, everything else happening with that. It was really just a bad defense, honestly. The defense really wasn't the thing that was making this team successful, and it showed that. And, they had a huge offseason. A lot of players came in, a lot of players left. So let's get into that. The key departures for Toronto was a big list, and I gotta admit that. I count a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different players that left Toronto. 4 of them were forwards, 2 of them were defenders. And they replaced these guys pretty well, and they got a lot of young guys coming up as well. So starting off on the key departures list, you have Tyson Barrie. So Tyson Barrie there, defender. He showed a lot of optimism. I mean, he was on his 1-year deal, got traded from Colorado to Toronto for Nazem Kadri. Barrie, I thought was decent. I mean, he showed a lot of minimal effort in the play-in rounds. I know he made a lot of bad plays, but I thought he played pretty well in the regular season. Kasperi Kapanen as well, that may hurt, but they did bring in a few more offensive guys there. I think Kapanen will definitely have a bigger role in Pittsburgh. Andreas Janssen, really def forward there as well. he's gonna be he'll be pretty good on that offensive line for the Devils. Cody Ceci, I'm no surprise there that he left. If Toronto didn't leave him go, I think Maple Leafs fans would have flipped because Ceci made so many disappointing plays throughout that entire regular season and even in the playoffs too. He made some bearing and angry plays in there too. So, it makes sense that he left. Gauthier as well and Kyle Clifford. So, I look at these departures. They're not horrible, but with the guys that they replaced him with, I think that it will definitely help him out in a way. These guys had to go. These guys weren't really doing much success in Toronto. And, you had to bring in more guys to test guys out. And I think that with the depth that they have, I think this team can get somewhere. And especially with the key arrivals that they got as well. The key arrivals list for the Toronto Maple Leafs consists of a lot of players, and I think these guys will fit in any area. Forward Wayne Simmonds, really for depth in all honesty, and will definitely be a fighter. Simmonds said it himself, and I know because I'm a Philadelphia Flyers fan, and Simmonds played for us for about 8 years, so I know that Wayne Simmonds will definitely benefit in Toronto. He'll be the one who fights off everyone. So if you try and mess with Toronto, you're going to get Wayne Simmonds to your gut. Just saying. Joe Thornton as well for a third-line depth, brings presence, good puck control. I noticed that in his game a lot. And I think Thornton will be an exciting addition. Jimmy Vesey also for depth as well. Defenseman TJ Brody for that good top pairing. Well, not top pairing, but you know what I mean. Zach Bogosian, really for depth on the defense, which is great. Bogosian, I thought, played pretty well in the playoffs, so I'm excited to see what he will do. Goaltenders Aaron Dell and Michael Hutchinson, really for depth in the goaltending-wise of things. And in the Seattle situation, because Aaron Dell I could see going to Seattle. I could even see Michael Hutchinson going to Seattle. It really depends, in all honesty, for this team. And also Joey Anderson, who I don't have on the lineups, I don't think, for the depth. So you got a lot of depth. That's one thing I noticed, and you got a lot of things that Toronto doesn't really have. Toronto was an easy team to play against. I think any Toronto fan can admit that. I think Toronto this season, with the new additions of Wayne Simmonds, Joe Thornton, Bogosian, players like that, this team has a lot more depth, and it's going to be a lot harder to play this team whenever you face off against them in the Canadian division. So, I have high expectations for this team. I think Kyle Dubas made good moves. I think he did the right things here. Anyways, let's get into the projected lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Your projected lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs consists of, on the left wing side, there's Zach Hyman, Ilya Mikheyev, Alexander Kerfoot, and Nick Robertson. On a center core there, you have Austin Matthews, John Tavares, Joe Thornton, Jason Spezza, and Travis Boyd. And then on the right wing side there, you have Mitch Marner, William Nylander, Jimmy Vesey, and Wayne Simmonds. So let's go line by line. Zach Hyman, Austin Matthews, and Mitch Marner. Good offensive line. I'm pretty proud of what this team is going to do, and I think I'm excited to see these three guys play. Second line, Ilya Mikheyev, John Tavares, William Nylander. Another good offensive line. Their top six looks great. I don't think there's really any holes left in there by their top six. Tavares a good leader, good captain. I think this team will be successful in their top six. Their bottom six looks good as well. Kerfoot, Thornton, and Vesey. A very physical, underrated goal-scoring line there in the third line. Fourth line, Robertson, Spezza, Boyd. A physical line. I think Simmonds and Spezza will definitely play the physicality role, and Robertson will continue to develop as a rookie, because I thought he was one of the players who didn't play too bad in the playing rounds. To be honest, I was really disappointed in a lot of players. In fact, I was disappointed in the whole team. If you watched the TikToks, if you watched the videos of when they were up 3-0, lost 4-3, when they lost 3-0, when they lost all those other scores and they got knocked out. I was mad. I was disappointed in every player on the team except for probably Frederik Andersen and Zach Hyman and probably Robertson and Spezza. Those were the four that I really wasn't disappointed in. So, in all honesty, I'm pretty proud of this offense. I'm excited to see what this offense is going to do. And they have a lot of depth too. Like, for example, Travis Boyd on the center core. Boyd hasn't been that bad of a center. So I think if someone gets injured or someone gets thrown off, they will definitely have the assets to help this team and their keep going in the future. On the defensive side of things there, starting off on the left-east side, you have Morgan Riley, Jake Muzzin, and Travis Dermott. And then you have Mikko Lehtonen and Sandin as your other guys there. On the right-east side there, you have TJ Brody, Hull, and Zach Bogosian. So let's go pair by pair. Riley Brody, another good, solid offensive and kind of physical line too. Brody's seen to play a little bit physical in his game there. Lefty there, Jake Muzzin and Hull. I think I have a lot of faith in Hull. I think he will play well. And Jake Muzzin, although he was injured in the play rounds, I have a lot of faith for him as well. I thought he was another good player that played well, and then he got injured, you know what I mean? But yeah, Muzzin, I was pretty impressed with Muzzin's game, and I am impressed with Muzzin's game. I think picking him up in 2019 is gonna really help them out in the next couple of years. Dermott as well. Dermott and Bogosian, another good depth line there. And then you have Letton and Sandin. So the defense looks good as well. If Morgan Riley can stay healthy, I think this team looks great. I'm pretty excited to see how this team's going to do with that top pairing of Riley and Brody, but I think it will do fine. Honestly, I think I'm proud of this team with their new assets. I think this team will definitely have the courage and the good amount of depth to really try and make a run. And as I've said before, I'm gonna say this and talk about this more for the playoff prediction. But if they can break through the first round, they have a lot. I think this team's ready to go for a run. Just saying, in all honesty. On the goaltending side of things, there you have Frederik Andersen, Jack Campbell, Aaron Dell, and Michael Hutchinson. I don't even know what that was. Something just felt like it was crawling onto my foot there, and I panicked. Excuse that. So Andersen, I thought played pretty well in the playing rounds. Campbell, we didn't see much of him because he did get traded to Toronto mid-season, but I thought he played pretty good as well. He had better stats than Andersen too, in fact, which makes sense because he played those games. Aaron Dell and Hutchinson is your third and fourth goaltenders. Those guys will definitely play a good amount in the season, and one of them will get taken by Seattle. That's the inevitable. I don't think anybody from Toronto goes besides either Aaron Dell or Michael Hutchinson, in all honesty. There's two good goaltenders in net there. I think Aaron Dell's pretty underrated, and if Seattle's smart, they will definitely take him. So yeah, I'm excited about the goaltending. The top pairing looks good. I think the tandem pairing, I can't even say words. Top tandem looks good. The bottom tandem looks good as well. Third and fourth. The defense looks good. The top six and the bottom six for the forwards looks good as well. I'm excited. I'm honestly excited to see what Toronto's going to do. I know people are going to say, oh, they're going to choke again. They're going to suck. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen this season. I think we may have seen the end of that. But I don't know. Finally, now we have the playoff prediction. Do I think the Toronto Maple Leafs will make the 2021 Stanley Cup playoffs? And the answer is yes. I have them in there. I have them in there as one of the top 4 teams. The Canadian division, in all honesty, is just like two really good teams that went to the playoffs. And then there's Ottawa. I'm sorry, Ottawa. I know I have your team missing the playoffs. But I have Toronto as one of those 4 guys. I'm excited to see how Toronto's going to do. I think this team with the new assets will definitely play well, but everyone needs to stay healthy. Riley needs to stay healthy. Bogosian needs to keep that depth. Andersen needs to stay consistent because everyone complains about how Andersen never gets consistent. And the Toronto media, you can't deny this. Any hockey fan, even if you're a Maple Leafs fan, you can't deny this. The Toronto media is brutal. I think anyone can say that. The Toronto media is pretty brutal to their team. And, Andersen will end up on trade rumors if he loses. Andersen will be argued as a Vezina goaltender if he wins. So it's in all honesty, that's not how Toronto media runs. I know it's kind of just exaggerating a bit there, but that's just an example. So yeah. Anyways, I have them making the playoffs. I'm pretty excited to see how they're going to do. And yeah, I'm excited to see how they're going to do in this very competitive Canadian division. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button. This is our last Atlantic team, or the team from the Atlantic division if we were doing actual Atlantic. So yeah, thank y'all for the constant support on the channel and everything as well as that. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow with the Vancouver Canucks, unless a trade happens. Thank y'all for watching.